Alan Quinlan, welcome to Ireland Discs.
Delighted to be here, Rossa. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And our first trick question is, have you been to Ireland?
Unfortunately, I haven't. No, I've been to the Blaskets maybe. I've been to Robben Island. I've been to Alcatraz. Must be a few more islands I've been to. But unfortunately, not the Aran Islands, no.
Was it foggy in Alcatraz when you were there?
It was actually, yeah. It was a little bit foggy. That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Anthony Foley,
God
rest him.
Yeah.
Declan Kidney, myself. We went to San Francisco in 2006 after Munster won the Heineken Cup. And
what was that?
we went...
The first one, was it?
Yeah, the first one in 06.
I was there.
We went, had a little bit of...
celebration.
Yeah, I think there was a few events on and there was a few Munster people over their businesses and we had a bit of a jolly there and
well deserved.
We enjoyed 4 or 5 days in San Fran. Long way to go for 4 or 5 days, but it was great.
Yeah, that was a great game. I was there in Cardiff.
Cardiff 06, yeah. Special memories, yeah. That was kind of the one that there was so much relief in the sense of...
In the stadium you could feel it. And
it was just
it was one with time to go, so you could actually start to enjoy it a little bit.
It was still a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it was tricky, but you thought when it was with you.
Yeah, I think obviously it was, we'd been through...
Who was to come after them? Berbers, was them? There was someone that caused them trouble all day.
In that game for Biarritz.
Yeah.
Serge Betson was playing.
Yes, Betson was playing. Somebody was sniping always.
Haranordaki.
Yeah, Strings had a tough time keeping somebody away.
Yeah, but I think that was our time, really.
It was,
we'd lost two finals before that and a good few semi-finals and quarter-finals, so it was a long journey. It took about 9 years. Declan Kidney came in 97 to a lot of us that were in a room back then. We were very young. Back then you do a lot of goal setting and we had no clue what goal setting was or, how you measure goals or anything like that. I'd just given up my job as a mechanic in Tipperary and I was getting paid to go to work in a tracksuit. Paid very little, to be honest. 7,500 was my retainer for the year. That was my first contract with Munster. And so it was a long journey, but really special memories. I think, God, time flies by. That's 20 years ago this year. There's a reunion dinner in April, I think.
Was there?
April or May. Munster are having one, which will be nice, but we're in that bracket now, unfortunately, Ross, of reunions and get-togethers and stuff like that.
Join the club.
I think people will remember that 06 one. Obviously 08 was very special as well.
Yeah.
But, people for many, many years to come will remember where they were on that day, and particularly if they're from Munster, obviously. If they're from somewhere else, maybe not. But it was a special day for us, our families, and for all the supporters as well.
Yeah, by 2006, it was a long road travel, it felt, and it was well deserved.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable road as well, though, because people often ask about the disappointments. I think, disappointments in life are, the older you get, you kind of learn that, you can try and learn from them and grow from them. At the time, they don't feel great, whether it's your personal life or your sporting life or your business life. But I think most people have been successful in the world have had setbacks, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have setbacks to be successful, because I tell my own son now, you don't have to have pain, misery, misfortune to make it in life or in sport or anything. Sometimes it can help and it can make you strong and it can prepare you for different challenges. Yeah, we had plenty of kind of disappointment and heartache, but we probably, back then we got over it fairly quickly, and it was, summer went pretty quick and there was an excitement about maybe what we could do the following season. And, there were hard luck stories and I suppose the Neil back when in 02, Leicester were a better team on us. We could have kind of got something out of that game. It was quite close. They had a star-studded English team in 2000 against Northampton. It was an unexpected final for us, really. They were probably a little bit battle-hardened. Rog missed a couple of kicks. He often talks about the adversity of that. There was, a couple of semi-finals in there as well. 2001 was the